GSL. We don't apologize, and that's just the way it is.
Welcome back. Hope you had a good 10 minutes. Hey, look, it's TheBestfOu. And there's Min. We're going to be watching them play some games of StarCraft, Molcraft.
Yes, we are indeed. Two players of very, very high skill level facing off in the Code A round of 32, scrambling, straining to stay in the tournament or be eliminated and go down to the massive, difficult qualifier of Code B.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous how hard it is to get into Code A right now. Oh, man. The Code B qualifiers, they're pretty tough.
Yeah,
I mean, we've mentioned it before. You have to win 5 best-of-3s against some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, and to get into that, you actually have to be the top few hundred on the Korean ladder in order to get in to qualify to participate in that tournament and then go up against 5 other players from the top few hundred of the ladder in Korea. Yeah. Very, very difficult.
Now, if you're not from Korea and you want to come and compete in the GSL, definitely, if you're going to be in Seoul for that and you want to, you know, even if you're just like, you know, platinum or diamond or something like that, there were some people at the qualifiers that just came to play for fun. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. They had a great time. They got to play against someone really good. Some lucky pro got a bye to the second round of the Code A qualifiers. But no, they had a lot of fun. So yeah, if you want to come to Seoul, compete in it. If you're really good to, come too. But let's see this game. We're going to get inside pretty soon. That was easily the most creepiest way you could possibly introduce the game. But we're going to introduce the players now. It's going to go much better. There is
TheBestfOu.
The best for you. Is he going to be the best? I don't know. He hasn't won a game since January.
Yeah.
We'll find out. There he is.
It's hard to really know how he's going to do. He hasn't actually faced a Zerg player since Season 3 when he beat Rhett.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So hasn't been doing much versus Zerg lately.
Well, Rhett is a very good Zerg player. Probably one of the best non-Korean Zergs, actually. So, for the best to be able to take him down, he does certainly have some skill.
Yeah, that was a little while ago.
Speaking of someone else with skill, we have our blue Zerg player. He is not Max. No way, he is
Slayer's Min.
Not in a bad way, though. No. Not Min as in minimum skill. Maximum skill, minimum inefficiency. We'll put it that way. Now, it's his first time in the GSL. However, he does have some notable appearances in the GSL Team League.
Yep. Beat Inca in the Team League, and I think he actually only got the 1 win in the Team League, but had some impressive play. Definitely had some impressive play. He's actually a new man crush of Artosis because of his really cool style that he showed. So he's one of these players that he really he's looked good so far, and he's yet to really prove himself. So we're going to have to see, you know, what he can do. This is kind of his chance to really shine, or maybe just falter.
I don't know. I'll never forget that first game that I saw him playing. It was Teldrim Ultra, and I believe it was the game versus Inca. He just took so many bases. He just took base after base. Now, cool. On a map like Selnaga Fortress, that may be a little bit tougher to do, a little bit tougher to hold those bases, less kind of room to maneuver. But certainly a Zerg who has shown himself to really, really want to play that very aggressive economic style. So I'm looking forward to seeing that out of him. He did go hatch first. So
indeed.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that style as well. I like the fact that, you know, when he has any room, to work with, just get another base, might as well, and end up getting your macro on very, very well in the mid-game, late game.
Now, probably going to see him get Zergling speed. He's getting that 6 initial Zerglings, poking in with that drone. You know, the amount of Zerglings that each player gets, that initial little group, is very interesting. You see some players that play very, very risky, only get 2, sometimes, 4, sometimes even 2. And then you see some players who like to play really, really safe and go up to a maximum of like 8, maybe even 10 sometimes. But usually 6 is the most common amount of Zerglings you see a Zerg player get initially in the game. You can chase out the SCV like that. You can usually handle the early Reaper, like we see right there.
I think a lot of the more macro-oriented Zergs that try and get a good econ I tend to see them get just those 2, and I personally like that a little bit better. I'm not sure, because now he has these 6 Zerglings that aren't drones.
It's
they
so
can't
risky.
really do much. I mean, there's no way they're going to catch up to this Reaper. So a little bit of a waste getting those early Zerglings, I would... in this situation, you never know. I mean, if he wants to put on early pressure, catch the SCV, right?
I like, too, that you can take those early Zerglings. I personally prefer 6 just so I can send, 1 to each. Say a map like Zelnaga Caverns or something like that, not Fortress. Send 1 to each watchtower, 1 outside their base. Yeah, have 1 poke in. And then you can send 1 out to the side to watch for drops. You know what I mean? You can really do a lot with those early Zerglings, too.
Ooh. Now, after those lings, he got a couple queens, fended off that Reaper, making a lot more drones, getting that Zergling speed, but we are actually seeing the best go for Blue Flame Hellions to follow up. So Zerglings not going to do well. Actually, Speedlings can do pretty well against Blue Flame Hellions in small numbers if they surround them.
And it may even be a Hellion drop, as he did just put down that Starport. So Spine Crawler up in the appropriate position to kind of poke away at some Hellions that might come into the base. Zergling poking up again. Doesn't see anything, though. He does see the tech lab on the factory. And at this point in the game, he can be pretty safe to assume that that's probably not going to be tanks. Very few players right now are going for siege tanks that quickly, and you can see right away puts up a Roach Warren. Yep, he knows that Hellions are incoming.
Very smart. Very smart indeed. And that's what happens when you put your tech lab on and your factory at the front door as part of your wall. You get that tech lab on there a little quicker by putting it on the barracks first, but then it's easy to spot. So now Min knows exactly what's going on.
Oh, and Min actually getting a 3rd hatch in his main as well. We've seen a lot of Zerg players do that today, actually. And now that, of course, does give you a little bit more extra production. It's kind of a big investment early in the game. Looks like it will be a Hellion drop as well. So that's the one thing where Min might be caught a little bit surprised, because he may not be expecting to drop. Then again, this map, though, isn't the best for just running Hellions in, so it may not be too surprising. Looks like the Hellions will poke out a little bit. Always good to use those Hellions to kind of secure your expansion as you move out. He may decide to just drive them into the base, too. That works just as well in a lot of cases. And Zergling's actually moving away right when the Hellions go past, so they do not see them. Zerglings do see the medevac, though. And the Lings are going to try to poke in the main. Oh, the supply depot's down. Not enough Zerglings to do damage, but Hellions do clean that up.
Wow, actually, basically 0 damage done by those Zerglings. It was a nice idea.
It was close.
See the Hellions go out, try and counter, and it looks like he is going to do a Hellion drop, and the Roaches are out in the middle of the map right now. He spots this, I think.
The Observer saw that medevac, too, and he also saw the Hellions, so Min should know about that.
Sending a few Roaches and a Queen back here. This is good if he targets the medevac with the Queen and chases the Hellions with the Roaches, and he's just going to bypass that Queen and go over to the expansion. Maybe try and drop behind. I don't think he's really going to do much damage here, though.
Well, that Hellion's getting a little bit low, too. Oh, not the best positioning. Oh, there is. Wow, there's a lot of room to run, to fly outside of the bases on this map. Oh, Roach is moving in from behind. There is a tank there. Might be able to pick off some mules if he decides. Nope, just going to lose those Roaches instead. All right.
Well, at least he gets a few Marines out of the deal. Well. And, oh, he's actually running it back in. And, oh, he doesn't target. No, he is targeting the medevac with the other Queen. The medevac goes down finally. Hellions doing some damage.
All right, so some units being traded by both players. A couple Roaches lost for Min, a couple Hellions and a medevac lost for the best. So overall, Min has actually lost a little bit more in terms of resources.
Yeah, because he lost all those Zerglings for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, for no gain, rather, earlier. And the best now has a Viking out.
Min doing a good job with drone production, too. Oh, nice transfuse on that Overlord.
Yeah, Min's up to 54 drones right now and producing another one, and is also getting the Roach speed, so he's going to be heavy on Roaches and a Baneling nest as well.
All right. And I really like what Min is doing too, just keeping a pack of Speedlings out on the map somewhere, because if you can keep those guys running around, you can do so many good things with counterattacking, you can get into the mineral line of the natural, kill a lot of SCVs a lot of times, and you can flank the enemy forces as well. So one thing as a Zerg player you're going to always want to be doing is moving around the map.
Min, being a little bit careless, loses those forces in the middle.
He does know that the attack's coming though too. So
his brand new base.
Uh-oh. Is he going to cancel?
Might be in danger. Oh, counterattack, but beautiful wall by the best. preventing those Zerglings from really doing as much damage as they could have. They finally get all the way around.
And here comes the best FOU. That Overlord may go down. Spinecrawler going down. The Queen getting a little bit overzealous as well. That's going to be bad for Larva. Injects and...
It's got a dozen Banelings morphing right now, though. If they can morph in time, Zerglings and Roaches going in, but a little bit too early. Drone's going out. He needed to wait for the Banelings, but they are doing some damage, forcing the tanks back, killing the tanks off, and the Banelings are chasing after the Bio, who's stimmed to run away, but they have nowhere really to run to. Actually, he can probably pick up with the medevac if he wants to after he's done kiting, and he is killing off a lot of Banelings without getting touched by them, and picks up and lifts.
That is it.
Beautiful play by the best.
Yeah, the best really showing some skill there. Looks like it might be a bit of a fake Overlord drop because I don't believe there's anything in those right now. Yeah, Overlord carrying isn't even finished right now. What's the name of that upgrade again? Ventral Sacs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Ventral Sacs.
All right. So possibly going to use those Overlords as well to spread some creep on some bases. Kind of keep an eye on the expansion of the best as well. The drop coming into the main. Getting pushed out pretty quickly.
A little bit careless by the best, I think. The medevac, all the Marines are injured. Probably should have dropped him out and healed him first, but he does actually go in and is now having to trying to contain here.
Now, we do have an infestation pit up for Min right now, and those Overlords are kind of in position outside the base of the best. Looks like Min will be losing his third, though.
A little bit of a careless position for that infestation pit because investors could save him right now, and he can't upgrade anything on it right now. There's no way he can get gas. Hold that thought. He's actually moving in with a lot of Zerglings. Banelings chasing the Bio. The Lings take down the first tank, going after the second and the third. He's not quite killing enough Banelings, but he finally kites those Marines back, losing every tank in his retreat, though.
Nice micro by the best, focusing down all those Banelings at the same time as microing back. Roaches are going to get caught as well. You know, the way Min is playing this with those Overlords in position there, I almost feel like he wants the Nidus, to be honest with you.
He's not going to have a chance to.
Yeah, I don't think he will either.
He's trying to upgrade the glands at the infestation pit. It is going to get taken out. Loses the upgrade, like I was talking about. Chase back. Marines barely surviving. Getting just out of the way of those Banelings.
Min right now down by about 50 food. He's in a terrible position right now.
Yeah, he's actually got less drones than the best has SCVs, plus the best has mules, but here comes the Bio might die, and
so
they're running, and if the stim runs out...
Nice split by the best. Wow, the best is really impressing me right now.
Yeah, you know...
His control is looking really, really good.
I gotta say, I was not expecting a lot out of him since he hasn't played terribly well in a few seasons. Looked like he was finally gonna, end his slow departure from the GSL. But he actually looks to be in position to win this game if things keep up like this.
Banelings going after the tanks, but that is not really where you want to put them. Looks like this natural expansion for Min will go down, and with that Expo getting taken out, it's going to be really, really difficult for Min to win this game. In fact, GG, there it is.
Min.
The best. Wow. Living up to his name.
In the first game at least.
Yeah.
In the first game at least.
Playing very, very well. And Min getting a little pep talk from Sella right there. There he is. We found him. Where's Sella?
We found Sella.
He's in the booth. Whoa.
And we found Ciara.
Yep.
By the way, thanks again to Intel, one of our sponsors, along with G-Skill and LG Cinema 3D.
That's right. Without them, this would not be possible, Moltrap. Nope. That's right. So we're going to move on to game 2. It's going to be on Crevasse. It's a little bit bigger map. I'd say a little bit better map for Min. He does tend to like, it seems like he tends to like anyway, those bigger maps. Able to get a lot more bases, a lot more macro.
Yeah.
The best did pressure him pretty early. Min threw a lot of Zerglings at him initially as well, and maybe not the best advised attacks. With ZVT, a lot of times it's better, unless you see a really clear opening, to stay back and then just crush the attacks that come at you. You know? Kind of think of it like a real bug infestation. You just kind of sit back, spread out, take out anything that comes and tries to kill you.
Yep, just chill.